Hey, I didn't know you were watching. All right, hey, let's get to it. So you're here because you want to learn how to add and subtract scientific notation? Not a problem. You came to the right place. So let's make it happen. Get your pencil and paper ready because you know you're not going to learn as much from watching as you are from actually writing it down and keeping your own notes. All right, so let's copy this problem down. We got 5 times 10 to the third power plus 4 times 10 to the third power. Before I get started solving this particular problem right here, I want to remind you of something. When you began adding coefficients, this is a coefficient, by the way. If I would have 2x plus 5x, I'm allowed to add those up because they both have the same variable. So I would end up with 7x. Remember that? Okay. This has the same principle. So instead of a variable, what I'm talking about is the actual exponent. So let's take a look at the exponent here. See how it's 3? And this exponent is 3. Since they both have times 10 to the power of 3, I can simply take the 5 here, and I can take the 4 here and add them up. 5 plus 4 is 9, and then it's times 10 to the third power. That's it. That's all there is to it. But the exponent must be the same on that base 10 right here, right? That must be the same exponent. Let's take a look at another one. What happens when they're not the same? Like this one. This one has an exponent of 5. This one has an exponent of 4. Okay. I have to make one of them. I have to change one of them so that either one of them is changed to a 4. That would be this one. Or change this one to a 5. The question is how? Well, hopefully by now you've learned how to write numbers that are in standard form, put them into scientific notation. Remember how you move the decimal over and that equals your exponent? Well, it's the same kind of principle here. So what we want to do here is I like to focus on the smaller exponent and I like to raise that up. So what happens here is I'm going to take this whole number here and I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it smaller because I want this to go up. So if I'm going to take this number here and make it smaller by moving the decimal, remember, not by making it a 2 or something. No, I'm moving the decimal. The decimal's right now in the back right there. They don't write it, but it's in the back when you have a whole number. So therefore, I'm going to move it forward, making this going from a 3 to a 0.3. Now I have 3/10 instead of 3 wholes. That makes sense? Since I'm lowering the value of this, I have to raise the value of this to keep it equal. I cannot just change the value. I have to keep the value the same. If I'm changing numbers, I can change them as long as the value is the same. All right? So we're going to make it go up. So basically, if I move my decimal to the left, I'm going to raise my exponent, right? So the decimal goes to the left, the exponent goes up. So therefore, if the decimal goes to the right, the exponent goes down. Okay? Write that down. Write that down. And spell the word out. I just didn't spell it so you don't forget. Decimal to the left, exponent up. Decimal to the right, exponent down. All right? Hopefully that helps you. So let's get to it. Let's do that. So I'm going to move my decimal here from, where's my pencil? There we go. From here, I'm going to move it to here. Since I only moved it once, it's going to make this number go up once. So what do I have now? I have 8 times 10 to the power of 5 plus 0.3 times 10 to the power of 5. Now I have the same exponent. Now I can add these. So simply here, 8 plus 0.3. Simple. That's going to be 8.3. And then just write your base 10 here. 10 to the power of 5. And that would be, ladies and gentlemen, my final answer. Huh? What did you think about that? Didn't I tell you I would make it easy for you all the time? Of course I would. All right. Hey, let's take a look at another one. But this time, go ahead and write this down and pause the video and give it a shot. All right. So I'm assuming you're back. One of the questions you may be asking yourself, well, this one here, 8, and this one is 6. So right away, I cannot subtract them. So I must either make this one a 6 by increasing the value of the 7, or make this an 8 by decreasing the value of the 4. Like I told you, I like to deal with the smaller one. You can change it and make this a 700. You can. It doesn't matter. But I'm not going to. So here we go. I'm going to move my decimal first. So I need this number to go up twice. So therefore, I'm going to move my decimal twice. 1. Right now it's in front of the 4. And then 2. Now I have a space. So I must put a 0 in here. So it's 0.04. That's what I end up with. So right now, I have 7 times 10 to the power of 8 minus 0.04 times 10 to the power of 8. Remember, I went over twice, so that means this this exponent goes up twice. Now again, I have the same exponent, so now I can subtract them. So let's take right here the 7, and we're going to subtract 0.04. So basically, we're subtracting 4 hundredths, so that would leave me with 6.06. And then my base 10 over here is the same, so times 10 to the power of 8. Just like that. The crowd is going crazy because this is so easy. Watch out, I'm gonna start rapping here. All right, hey, is that making sense? I hope it's making sense, and I hope it's becoming easy for you to understand. This is really complex, but I'm hoping that I'm able to make it easy for you to understand. Here's another one. As always, pause the video, write it down, and give it a shot, and then come back to see the answer. If you notice here, this is a 5 and this is a 7. That's the first thing I focus on. Are they the same? If they are, then I move forward and subtract or add whatever they want me to do. In this case, they're not. They're different. So I'm going to make that 5 go up twice. So which means I have to move the decimal that's back here, right here, move it twice. 1, 2. So it's going to end up being right there. So I have 4.3 times 10 to the 7th power minus 0.12 times 10. And since I already moved it twice here, that means that exponent goes up twice. And now I have a 7. Now I can proceed to subtract these two, which is just the same as this, 4.3. But by now, you should have a calculator. 0.12. If you don't have a calculator, remember you must always line up the decimals, all right? Borrow from this one to make this a 10. Minus 2 is 8. This is a 1. And right here we have a 4. All right? So what do we have left as a final answer? We have 4.18 times 10 to the power of 7. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes. Is that easy? Guess what? If you're following along, and I hope you try to solve that on your own, and I hope you got it right, you know how to solve or how to add and subtract in scientific notation. All right? That was my last problem there for you. You know me, I like to keep these short and sweet. And if you liked it and got some value out of it, come on, hit the like and subscribe button, all right? And I'll see you next time on Math Quiz. Goodbye.